to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue, and in today's video I am bringing you a recorded Zoom class that I did live with students. This one is a Pilates class. I'm using some light weights. Once again, you may have seen some of these, but every session I try to incorporate some different movements just to create a little bit of muscle confusion, as well as making it more entertaining, a little bit more fun. We tend to look for some change, some variety to just keep things interesting. So I do have, as usual, some 2-pound weighted balls that are used for Pilates practices. I also have some light dumbbells, 2 5-pounds, as well as 2 10-pound weights. So I will be alternating between all of these, and certainly you can do the practice without even using the weights and simply focusing on form and using your own body weight. So I hope that you'll join me. Stay tuned and we'll get started right now. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content. You can check it out, check me out in the next video. To bring your body in alignment, we just want to start off to really bring attention to the muscles that we are engaging, particularly the core. A strong, stable core will help us with moving through with using the weights and going through the motions of various exercises. So from this position, make sure you lengthen the neck, reaching the head right out of the spine, and taking an inhale to lift the tailbone and gently sink the belly a little bit, and then rounding as you tuck the chin, separate the shoulder blades, repeating that a few times, breathing in and breathing out, and just continuing to gently articulate. We want to make this a really soothing motion, massaging kind of motion, so you know yourself what pace is going to feel the best for you. So go ahead and honor your body. And as we come back to a table position, pressing into the left hand as we reach up with the right arm and opening that up, bring your gaze up to the hand. Now we're going to make a few rotations here to lubricate that shoulder joint. Breathing in to reach up. You can take your gaze toward the hand, which is going to help stretch the shoulder and your neck. This time as you reach it up to the sky, inhaling up and exhaling to thread the needle, taking it behind your left wrist, bringing your head down, and putting a little bit of pressure in your left hand as you continue to take your gaze upward. Pressing into your left hand to bring it back up again. Reset here. Lengthening once again and breathing in to reach up with your left arm. Extending it up, palm faces away from you as you reach up, and then as you circle the arm back, the palm gently turns towards you and then turns away from you as you bring that arm back up again. So it's nice awareness of your shoulder alignment. Again, you can take your gaze up toward the fingers, which is going to help to deepen the stretch. Be sure to create some softness in your right elbow. And this time as you inhale it up, breath in here, exhale, take it through, threading the needle on the opposite side, releasing the ear to the mat, pressing a little bit into your right hand. You can even turn your right fingertips towards you, which is going to help to stretch the hand a little differently, the wrist, forearm as well. And as you press into it, moving back into your table. From here, you can reach the hands forward, pushing the hips back for a nice length. You're pressing your heart down towards your mat. Breathing in to move forward, and as you breathe out, lowering down. So take an inhale, lifting your gaze up and pushing back into an extended puppy. and moving forward again. So keep going. I'm just going to check in here, admitting someone else in. As you follow your breath with that movement, it should feel really nice, and it should feel as if you are totally getting warm, getting lubricated, and come back to your table position. Reset here. From here, we are going to go ahead and lift your right knee out to the side in a hydrant type of position. So the belly rises, the back, the knees out, and from here we circle and create some circumduction in the hip. Going both directions as we rotate and massage, and bring it out to the side. And step that foot out to the side, toe pointed straight ahead, pushing the hips back with your inner thigh, a really great stretch here. And then bringing it back to your table position. From here, we work on that hydrant position on the other side. So little side glute activation and circling around. Nice smooth motion, breathing in rhythm with your movement, and then going in the opposite direction. So make sure that your abdominals here, your powerhouse, is engaged to help to support the heaviness of your leg. You bring it out, step that foot out to the side. Again, the toes are pointing straight ahead, heels down, and from here we move back. Feeling that beautiful inner thigh stretch. And from here, let's bring that knee back. And now we take the hands a little further forward, tuck the toes under to make our way into downward facing dog with some great opening to the hamstrings, the calves, pushing your hips way up and back. Get up ahead. Dangle a little bit here between the upper arms. And a nice easy turn. Make sure that you create some external rotation in the shoulders, opening up those collarbones. And as you soften both of your knees, hands walk toward your feet to coming to forward fold. So let's take a few more moments here. Deep press in the spine, creating more stretch in the back body. And as you release the arms, let's unroll to come all the way up to standing nice and tall. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my weights, and I'm going to start off with the heavier weights. And we're going to come from a standing position, taking the feet wider apart. Toes turn out as we move into some sumo squats with a bicep curl. So you want to make sure that your weight is heavy enough, but not so heavy that you can't curl in the biceps. From here, let's open the chest. Slide the shoulder blades down the back and still holding on to those weights. Take a breath in, bending the knees and sinking down, curling and really activating those biceps, and straighten the legs as you release the weights down. So breathing in and breathing out. Give it a squeeze, lower them down as you straighten the legs. So let's keep going like this. Now make sure that when you're coming up, you're really squeezing your glutes. Squeezing the glutes, really firing up those large muscles, is not only going to help you in your workout, but it is going to help you in all of your functional activities for the day. Now press your knees open when you come down. Try to get your bottom down to knee level if possible. But you know your body, so if you have any knee issues, you're going to be very mindful of that as well. Keep that chest nice and open and keep breathing. Make sure that you are breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And let's do another 2 of these. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes on the way up. And even as you come to the top of your pause, so that good squeeze in your glutes. And bring it all the way up. From From here, I'm going to switch to my medium weights, and keeping the legs apart, I'm going to turn the toes so that they're facing straight ahead. I'm bringing my weights up at chest level, opening the collarbones once again, taking an inhale at the center and exhaling to sink down. Now I'm going to keep my hips nice and low as I switch to the other side. Trying to keep that heart lifted and alternating side to side, keeping those hips really low is going to continue to keep those glutes firing, those legs firing. Here I'm working my abductors, the outer thighs, and my adductors, inner thighs. Working those muscles so that they're balanced on both sides. You want to have a strong inner or strong outer legs, but that can result in not only hip imbalances, but knees, ankles, feet as well. So let's finish it up with this one to the other side. Bring it back to the center and straighten those legs. From here, you can give the legs a nice shake, and I'm going to move into one-legged squats. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can have a better look. And from here, bringing weights back to the heart once again. So the entire time, you want to make sure those glutes are squeezed. The heart is open. We're going to start off by lifting the right leg as we squat down. Using a chair squat and bring it back up again. So safely use that left foot and bring it up. Try to keep your hips nice and level. Keeping your shoulders level also. Weight is balanced in the heel as well as the ball of your foot. Toes are spread out nice and wide. Breathe in when it's easy. Breathe out when you are challenged. And let's do another 3. Feels so good. Another 2. Pressing into that left heel. Especially hold it here. Hold it. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it up. Release the weights. Shrugging the shoulders as you hold on to the weights and releasing them at your sides. And you can heel up and off. Lift and release. So shoulders come up, heels come up. One, holding it up, really challenging the balance, squeezing those shoulders toward the ears. Get up a little bit higher if you can, and release it down, release the shoulders, pull them out. Switching back to our one-legged squat. So this time we're lifting the left leg, the right foot is going to be nice and heavy. Bring those weights back to the chest. Again, firing up those glutes, and take a breath in, exhale as you sink into your chair squat. So one side is going to be a little bit easier for you. One side always more challenging. Keeping the elbows tucked in. Nice and close to the sides of the ribs. Maybe playing around with the depth of your squat. Again, you want to get weight in your heel. If you have too much weight in the front of the foot, not enough in the back, you might start to feel some pressure in behind your knee. So we don't want to strain the knee. This time we're going to hold it up again. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Shake out those legs once again. So from here, we're coming into some deadlifts. I'm going to go back to my heavier weight, and as I pick up both of the weights, I'm going to have the knuckles facing, well, the tips of my fingers facing in, the palms facing in, so the backs of the hands away from me, and keeping my feet parallel to each other as we begin, taking a roll back of the shoulders, activating my powerhouse breathing in, and sliding those weights down. And bringing it back up. Breathe in, and breathe out. Continuing to work my way down, keeping the back nice and long here. So I don't want to be rounding my back. So if you do have visual somewhere, either your reflection in the window, if you've got a mirror nearby, or if you even have something like television that you can see your reflection, check out your back. Notice what your low back is like. You want to keep it nice and long. And from here, as we come up, this time we are going to switch the foot positioning by opening the toes outward. So the heels are toward each other, toes are pointed out, nice and open through the chest, still powerhouse on, and sliding those weights down. So now we target different muscles in the backs of the legs and glutes. Keep the breath flowing. Relax your jaw as well. Sometimes when you're working hard, you're concentrating really hard. It's so easy to start to tense up in your jaw, which will tense up your neck, which will tense up your shoulders, your chest, your upper back. And you want to have the tension instead in your powerhouse area. That's what's going to give you more stability. And this time, as we come up, we bring the toes back in, but we're going to toe to toe. So we're turning them in toward each other, opening the heels out wide, resetting as you inhale and exhale. Moving back into those deadlifts. Breathing in, breathing out. It's more challenging. And notice how this feels different. Same movement, 3 different leg positions. So we always want to work those legs. One of the factors of aging is weakness in the legs. Once you lose strength in the legs, it affects your mobility, it affects your balance, which is critical, and it also relates directly to your overall health. So from the studies that have been done, they've shown that you want to keep the glutes and the legs really strong, and that will prevent getting frail. Frailty is usually what does us in. So as we come up this time, come all the way up, and you can hold on to your weight or move to some heavier weights, or sorry, some lighter weights. I'm going to go a little bit lighter here because we're going to move into some prisoner surrender. So it's been a little while since we've done those. Again, you're holding your weights up, you're tucking your elbows in, sliding the shoulder blade down the back, and from here, I'm going to step back with the right foot, bringing the right knee down, bringing the left knee down, stepping the right foot and the left foot. We switch over to the left foot steps back, left knee comes down, and right knee comes down. Left and right. So we keep going this way, alternating the starting side. Each time we go up and down, each time we go down and up. And we want to maintain a nice tall stature as you continue these movements. more. One more on each leg, starting leg. So switching it over and finishing it up right here. So I'm going to go back to my heavier weight, and as I bring those weights on either side, I'm going to actually step back with my left foot. So taking a nice big step here with the left foot, staying tall and bringing my knee toward the floor, but not touching the floor. So this challenges balance, promotes firing up the core as you continue to bend that back knee. You're searching for the floor, and you want to keep your chest, as always, nice and proud and open. Not only does this help your overall posture, but it's going to help with your breathing also. Toes are getting a good stretch here as well as the sole of your foot. So we've got 2 more here. And on this last one, we're going to hold it down and bring the knee all the way down to the floor. From here, you can set the weights down, pushing away your hips to straighten the leg. You can even lift the toes up, giving your hamstring a little bit of a stretch and recovery from those deadlifts that we did not too long ago. And then as you bring a bend to the knee, we're going to go ahead and pick up, take one of my weights, the heavier one. We're going to focus on the triceps on this one. So you're remaining in your lunge position, but be really, really aware of squeezing those glutes while you're here. That's going to help to keep that extended, or the knee that's back. It's going to help to keep that hip nice and open while strengthening the countering muscles. So if you sit a lot, this is really important because those hip muscles or hip flexors, they get really, really tight. And squeezing those glutes as tight as you can is going to force that hip to open and counter strength in the other muscles. So bringing your weight up overhead and keeping the elbows pointed straight ahead as you lower the weight and lift it up. So we work on our triceps here. Be conscious of what's going on with your elbows as you're doing this. Don't let them flare out when you bring the weight down. Keep them pointed straight ahead. It's as if you're trying to get your elbows to touch each other. You're squeezing them toward each other, and you're moving that weight with control on the way down and the same amount of control on the way up. So don't let it drop. Carefully release it down, and with the same amount of pressure, you're bringing it back up again. And this time, we bring it all the way up and bring it back down in front. From here, I'm going to gently turn myself to the side. I'm picking up my medium weight, and I'm going to keep my leg, my other leg. So we just pivoted. So the knee that was down stays down. The other leg is extended. The toes are pointed straight ahead. Bringing my hand down to the floor here as I lift the leg. So I'm using my weight. You could do this completely without weight. And I am moving that leg up and down. So your leg already is quite heavy. It's a long lever that you're lifting. So you could do this without weight at all. But if you want that little extra load, go ahead, keep one of your weights, place it there. Maybe even 2 weights if you want some extra challenge. If you're staying in today and this is it, you want to work, you don't want to leave any gas in the tank. Empty it all out. So let's do that one more time. Hold it and release it down. So pivoting to the opposite side, I'm going to go back to my heavier weights, and from here, stepping my left foot forward this time, right leg back, coming into my lunge position, weights at my sides, as I bend and straighten. So moving up and down. Keeping my breath flowing. Again, don't forget to squeeze that glute on your back leg. Squeeze it at the top. Squeeze as you come down. So you've got lots of load on that front leg. And challenging powerhouse. Challenging that front leg for balance, the back leg. Lots going on, lots of mind-body connections going on here. And as we come down the next time, down, and all the way down. And once again, we can set those weights aside, pushing the hips back and giving yourself a really nice. So from here, as we move, I'm going to move to my lightest weights on this one and bringing that bend back in that front leg, my left leg, taking the weights at my sides, opening the chest, and I'm going to fly it out. So I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see better here, but I'm lifting up. And as I'm lifting, I am having a wee bit of softness in my elbows, and I am not lifting beyond my shoulder. I'm just lifting just a little higher than my mid-chest. So continuing to float those arms up for rear fly. And as I finish that one up, hold it here, keep the chest nice and proud, and release it down. So from here, the knee that's on the floor stays on the floor, the opposite leg stretches out. So once again, I can take a weight, the toes are pointed straight ahead, my other hand is down for support as I begin to lift and lower the leg. So as I lower it down, I'm not actually touching the floor, I'm simply moving toward the floor. Keeping powerhouse on, keeping chest nice and open, and using the weight in this instance to really target the gluteus medius, that outer hip. Now there's still work going on in the lower hip because the leg that's down on the ground is working hard to stabilize. So inner thighs are getting a workout here too. We're stabilizing and controlling the weight down as you lower the leg. So last one here, hold it, and then bring it all the way back down. You can bring the knee down to the floor. Push yourself back into a little bit of a child's pose here as we come into a nice easy stretch. Separating those shoulder blades, maybe giving the head a little turn side to side, massaging out any tension in the forehead. As we come back up, let's unroll and move up onto our hands or onto our knees. So we're coming into a camel position, and I'm going to go ahead taking my medium weights. Actually, I'm going to use the light weights because I'm working at a full extension of my arms in this one, so I want to make sure that I'm not straining my shoulders at all. So I'm going to want to keep them open and back and away. I want to collapse into the chest like so. I want to promote the opening. It's almost as if I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together in the mid-back. So from here, staying a nice long line through the anterior body, reaching the weights out in front. I'm not coming up too high. I'm staying in line with the shoulder, lower shoulder. Press, squeezing the glutes as I lean back. And leaning myself, so I'm really firing up the quads here. And bringing back up again, inhale, and exhale. Lean back, and continuing to move forward and back. So be careful of your knees. If you need extra padding, you can always fold up your mat a few times to give you that extra padding if you don't have a blanket near. You can also be cautious of the knees, so don't lean back quite so far if your knees are talking to you. You want to gradually increase your strength here. We're working on increasing that quad strength. That powerhouse is working. The glutes are working really, really hard to stabilize you as you move back. And last one. And squeeze to make your way back. And you can set the weight to the side here. Roll out your shoulders. If it's comfortable for you to do so, you can sit on your heels if you need to sit in a leg stretch down or in cross-legged. Go ahead and do that. But we take an inhale here, bringing the arms up. And as we bring the right arm down, we're just going to stretch out on the side. Bringing the gaze up, maybe bringing it up towards your elbow. Very open things up on the left side. As we inhale your right arm up, let's switch it over. Reach, reach, reach. And just a little bit of weight in your left hand, but really most of the weight is just staying centered. And by bringing your gaze up, you open up the obliques also, which is a really great stretch. And then bring that back up again. Let the shoulders and pick up either whichever weight you can hold comfortably in front of your chest once again. So we've done this a few times, so you might find that the arms, shoulders, upper back starting to get a little bit tired. If that's the case, go lighter or go without weight at all. We're going to be targeting glutes in this next one particularly, as well as the quads. So I'm going to go ahead, take one of my heavier weights. I'm going to hold it in front of me. I'm coming up into kneeling squat here. So I'm going to squeeze the glutes again, aligning the body, bring the hips back toward my heels, and coming right back up again. So it's a squeeze as I lift myself up. So just raising my bottom to my heels as I come down, keeping the chest nice and open. And squeeze and lower. Then use your breath in a manner where it's easy when when the movement is easy, you're breathing in, and when it's more challenging, requiring more effort, you're breathing out. So continuing on for another 4 of these. So the knees are open. I forgot to mention that. Knees are open and the big toes are touching each other so that you are creating a little bit of a triangle. So you've got more activation in outer and inner thighs while really focusing on glutes and your powerhouse. Last one here. And bring it all the way down. So from here you can set your heavy weight aside and we are moving into a plank position. So you can do this in a half plank, you can do a full plank. So whichever one you choose, it's all about what's going on in the abdominal wall, your glutes and your legs. Your head is reaching out your spine. It's really a whole body thing, not just glutes, legs, and abs. You want to decompress the shoulder joint by rolling it open and sliding down the back once again. And if you're doing it from your toes, you're going to feel yourself really firing up the entire length of the leg. From here, we take a breath in, and as we exhale, we start to bend the elbows to lower ourselves all the way down, control to the mat. So from here, stretch out the arms and lengthen them. Tuck your tail on the dorsal one. Feel that little bit of neutralizing in your pelvis so that you're not overarching your back. We start with the feet on the floor, hands on the floor, and as move right to the side a little bit here, so a little bit more comfortable, and maintaining that form in the upper and lower body. Take an inhalation to prepare yourself, and as you exhale, you're lifting the hands to the leg and squeezing the elbows towards your ribs. And reach forward and lower down. Taking your inhale, exhale to lift, squeeze, reach, and lower. So we're going to continue with that. We're trying to get height and length as well. So making sure that you are not creating a jerkiness in your movement. Try to make it silky, silky smooth as you go through. Continuing with this motion. So we really want to bring focus into the back body, that whole posterior chain. It tends to be why? Because we spend so much time sitting. If you've seen one of my recent videos on the YouTube channel, I had by request, I did a section on for people who sit too much. And one of the studies that I was researching from Australia said that sitting is now the new smoking. That's how detrimental it is to our health. So let's do one last one here. Really squeezing, strengthening that posterior chain, and releasing. From here, walking the hands back outside of the ribs, and let's keep the body straight and strong, whether you're doing it from knees or toes, elbows tucked in. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press yourself up, bring the knees down, and push it back. And take a little recovery here. We want to counterbalance the spine by rounding now, and enjoy that stretch. Yeah, so sitting is the new smoking apparently because of the detrimental effect that sitting for extended periods of time has on your health, overall health. So weakness, like I mentioned earlier, in the legs and the core, tightening of the hips, creating imbalances in the body, detrimental to your cardiovascular health, detrimental to your mental health, and the list goes on and on. So it is really, and right now we seem to be in a sitting epidemic, particularly in the northern hemisphere where we are cooped up inside for so many of us. So as you bring the hands underneath the hips, let's make some nice rotations here with the hips, massaging them out. And circling in the opposite direction. And bringing it back to the center, let's move into a seated position. So as we come into seated, I am going to use my medium weight for this one. And as we often do at this point, we move into a boat. So just changing it up a little bit today by crossing the right ankle over top of the left as we get started. And keeping the knees nice and level. You keep your left heel on the floor, or you could lift it up as you pick up your weight. So activating the core. From here, I'm going to bring my weight over to the left side and face down. Bring it back to the center and do the same thing to the right side and take it back up again. So bring it over to the left and then you set it down. Pick it up, bring it center, bring it right, place it down, and pick it up back to center. Continuing side to side. If you need to place the feet down at any time, go ahead and do that. And one more to each side. Finish it up on the right side. You start it on the left and bring that down. Uncross the ankle around the back. Bring the hands behind you as you have fingers pointed straight ahead. Nice long legs here, and or legs bent. So reverse table or reverse plank to lift up and open up the front body. As you lift the heart, you can hold this here, or you can lower the hips, raising the floor and lifting it back up again. Lowering down and lifting up. chest nice and open as we do this one. Continuing with that squeeze of the posterior chain. Beautiful promotion of keeping the heart center open and improving those postural muscles. Last one. And bring it down. From here, reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, reach forward. Start to pull the abdominal wall forward as you reach, and release into a forward fold. Slowly unroll yourself. And from here, picking up, I'm going to go with my light weight for this one, and I'm moving back into a boat position. If you're getting a little bit tired from this one, you can keep your feet on the floor and just hold your weight. But if you want more, coming into a half boat, extend one leg and bring the weight underneath, and then switch as we bring the weight alternately behind one leg and then behind the other leg, and continue to switch and switch and switch, keeping a nice tight abdomen. Keep switching it up, leaning back, working on making sure that tailbone is tucked so there's no pressure on that low back, but lots in that low abdomen and even in the upper abdomen. So finish it up here, but actually, let's go the other way. So bringing it opposite. A little bit faster. And finish it up right here. As you bring your weight, set it down, but make sure that you have your weights easily accessible to you. We are working our way down, and from here, reach the arms up, inhale, and exhale, reach them forward, tuck the chin in, and making your way down. So bring the focus now into the abdomen. We do the abdominals now because they're already fatigued, and that's going to make it work harder. We want to focus on the big muscles first and work our way down to the smaller muscle groups. So from here, as I take my medium weight, I'm going to bring it bend to my knees, bringing the weights out in front as I reach upward. So as I roll down, I'm articulating through my spine and making sure that I roll through. So I'm not coming down with a flat back, but instead I'm creating a curvature, a C curve in my spine. I have a little bit of a tuck of my chin. Not so much that I'm jamming my chin to my collarbone, but it's as if I'm holding on to an orange, a fairly large orange underneath my chin to maintain a nice neutral cervical spine. So from here, we're going to do one last one and bring it all the way down with maintaining my neutral spine here. So I really want to reset by lifting my bottom up and then replacing that back down on the mat. Bring my heels so that my ankles line up under my knees more or less. Put that pretty straight on the knees, and from here I need to get that money counter way to stay. And I turn the hands, the palms are facing forward. I'm starting out with my elbows are at chest level, they're not at shoulder level. From here I lift the tailbone up and reach it up and lower it down again, breathing in and breathing out. And as I bring the elbows down this time, take a pause, and as I bring them up, creating the capital A as I turn the knuckles to face each other, and then opening those elbows again, reaching the knuckles toward each other, and then pulling them apart. So visualize in your mind that you're drawing the letter A with from here, we bring the legs more of a tabletop position. And as I take my lighter weights this time and bring them up over my shoulders. And from here, I'll extend the legs. So you can keep them in tabletop if you want to have a shorter lever. But I'm going to lower my right arm, left leg, and bring back up and switch, alternating it side to side. So the leg of the arm does not touch the floor. I'm simply remaining it, keeping it in a hover when it comes down. So I'm not straining my shoulder by having the arm come down too low as it holds on to a weight. It's really important. So I'll finish it up on left arm, right leg, and bring it up here. Now starting with my left leg, right arm, I'm going to bring my left arm back and reach the right one across to the left side and bring it back center. Lowering my left leg, keeping my right leg lifted up, reaching across. So a little bit more thought into this leg as we fire up our oblique muscles and we maintain control through the core. So you don't want to be rolling over to the side. You want to be using your limbs to help to stabilize you as well as your core muscles, your oblique muscles here are stabilizing. Your powerhouse is on. Breathing in, breathing out. Side to side. And last one on opposite side. And bring it back. Bend the legs and bring those weights to your shoulders. Come back to your tabletop leg position. Lifting the head, you can drop your weights if you need to. You go into some bicycle twists. Side to side. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and deep. Exhale as we lift and twist across. So one more each side. And bring it back center. Release your weight. Stretch out the legs, stretch out the arms. We're just about there, but not quite done yet. So from here, we are going to bring I'm going to take my heavy weights and bringing them right onto just below the hip flexors, just to create a little bit more weight here. As I hold on to that weight, toes are pointed straight ahead. I'm going to articulate from the top down and lifting back up again. So really promoting the articulation of my spine as I lift and lower through that bridge. You can do this one without weight as well. Getting lots of strengthening going on in those legs, glutes and core. Keeping the chest open here also. Halfway there. 5, 4. Make sure those inner thighs are drawn toward each other. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Set the weight aside. And from here, we drive the chest open once again, lifting up into our bridge. Now, if you wanted to hold a weight on your grounded leg, you could go ahead and do that as we extend the right leg and lift it up and lower. Lift and lower. So it's not a huge movement here. It's fairly tight and small. We point, we flex. We point, we flex. The emphasis is on keeping the hips nice and level and keeping the spine neutral the entire
entire time. So it's a little bit of a burnout here as we bring our practice to a close this morning. And bring that back to a bend and reset. Your bridge, come down for a break if you can come back up again. But as we get ready to do the other side, lifting that leg up, let's extend it and the lower hip point, flex and point. Small movement, keeping hips beautifully level and square. Keeping that control and keeping the ground leg strong. So last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, step it in. A little squeeze to get a little more height and bring that all the way down. Scoop up those legs, bring them in and nice and snug to the body. Take the hands to your kneecaps, make some beautiful rotations here to massage that low back. So bring some oxygen into our bodies now as we stretch out the muscles so that this helps with our recovery. So you want to circle that in both directions, and from here, let's extend out the right leg, stretching out those hamstrings. As you flex the ankle, you can extend out your opposite leg as well. You can keep it to a hover, but you might feel worked hard enough, so you can just let it rest. Walk the hands up the back of the leg. You can lift your body up to help hug the body into the leg, which is going to give you a really nice deep stretch. And then as you release the head down, you can bend your right leg and cross your right ankle over top of your left thigh. So scooping up your left knee so that you bring it in towards you, or hold on to the back of the leg if that feels more comfortable for you. But as you continue to bring that left knee in, you are going to feel this really opening up your right hip. So this is what we want to target. We want to particularly get that right glute, the right outer thigh. Softening all of your facial features or your jaw. And then release, and as you keep your ankle there, open up your arms nice and wide and just let your legs sway over to the left side. So you're going to really emphasize the external stretch on your left hip, all the way into your waist, even into your chest and your arm, so that whole left side gets a great stretch, while maintaining a really good one in your right inner thigh. You can even use your hand here, apply a little bit of downward pressure to deepen the stretch there. And as you bring the legs back up, slide your right leg so that it's completely crossed over top of your left one. Scoop up the knees and bring them in. Bring your nose towards your knees if it is feasible for you to do so. Your left hand is going to grab your right foot or ankle or shin, and your right hand grabs your left foot. You can bring your head back down again as you focus on pulling the feet or the shins, knees towards your upper body. So whatever you can comfortably reach is where it's at. And just breathe here as you hold, you pull it in, you feel yourself creating more stretch, not only the back body, try to get your shoulders, your collarbones to open even more as well. And then release that. Ooh, that should feel quite nice. You can keep a bend in your knees and kind of wiper blade the legs a little bit so that you are going to feel that really nice sway. And from here, we start the whole sequence over again on the opposite side. So holding on to your left leg and clasping the back of it as you stretch it out. Holding the back of your thigh, possibly walking the legs up as you pull your body into your left leg to relax your shoulders here too. So don't focus so much on the back of the leg and then you forget about your neck and your shoulders and you end up bringing them up towards your ears. So you want to be cautious of that. Relax your jaw, maybe get a little bit of a shift side to side. Make sure it's that tight thing. And as you bring the head down, you are going to cross your left ankle on your right thigh, creating that figure 4, reclined pigeon, reaching through to hold on to the back of your opposite leg. So it's the right leg, the left one's the bent one, and well, the right one's bent too, but it's further away from you, and you're either holding on to the back of it or to your knee, to your shin, and you continue the entire time to pull that towards you. Relax your face. Breathe. You can close your eyes here. This is the easy part, so don't make it hard. Make sure that you're allowing yourself to feel good in the stretch. Every exhale, it's like the legs get a little bit closer to you. And then as you release the foot back down again, keeping the ankle crossed, open up the arms and let them sway over to your left. Now if it was too intense for you to do this, you know you can always give yourself permission to modify and simply stack your legs instead, like so. Always a way to make it fit just right for you. That's the most important thing. As you turn and look away from your legs, you continue to deepen your stretch. And by relaxing into it, you allow the limbs to get a little bit heavier, which is going to deepen your stretch more. So you bring those legs carefully back up to the center. You're crossing them completely. Keeping the left leg on top, lifting the knees towards your chest, lifting your nose towards your knees, possibly holding on to the feet, ankles, shins, knees. So as you reach for the feet, reach for the lowest point that you can reach, and then you can bring the head back down as you just hold on here and continue to make your stretch nice and deep. Make sure you're not tensing your shoulders again. Imagine that you're prying your chest open. Always a proud, open heart. Allowing that prana to flow into your body. Receiving it with an open heart. And then release and bring your feet back down. And vibrate those legs a little bit, side to side. You can let them roll all the way over to one side in the fetal position. Taking a moment to pause, to press yourself up. And as we come up to seated, we're just going to stretch out the arms a little bit here to reward them for all this hard work that they've done. You can cactus or goalpost the arms, stretching them out in front as you round to the back, again coming back, just squeezing the elbows back behind you, goalpost the arms. Take the hands, bring them back behind you, interlace fingers, lift those hands away from you, and roll out the shoulders a few times. Take a big breath, bring the arms up, and taking the right hand between the shoulder blades, left hand on the elbow to slide back down, lift your gaze up, and switch it over to the other side, opposite hand, and hand on elbow, lift it up, breathe, relax your jaw, and let it go. Drop the ear, side
side to side. And if you can, spend a little bit more time stretching. I really advise you to do that. Take the time if you have it. It's great self-care time. But if you must go and get on with your day, let's take a nice big breath, scooping up that positive energy that you've created, seal it into your heart, and namaste.